Hello, my name is Rachel Sanborn, and I am a kindergarten teacher at Nat Forest. Today, we are going to talk about the day of a virtual kindergarten class. So the what is I'm going to walk you through a day of virtual kindergarten and what it could look like. The why is because there have been requests from other early elementary educators on what a virtual early elementary class could look like and how to utilize other virtual tools within a virtual school day. So in this video, I'm going to teach you one of the ways to structure a class using multiple online resources. And I'm going to show you the most authentic version that I can, which is the schedule and the resources that I've been using with my current students. And the how is where we're going to take a peek into my virtual classroom, teaching kindergartners using Canvas, Zoom, and a couple other websites that we'll get into in a minute. So first I want to show you our daily schedule. This is our virtual daily schedule. Every day we follow the district schedule. We start at 8:45 and we have our live Zoom, which includes our morning meeting and a class check-in. We usually take attendance. I usually put students in a breakout room and they can share with a friend about something. Sometimes we come together and we each take a turn sharing. Usually, if I let every child share something, it takes around 20 minutes. So that's not something we do every day, but we try to do it a couple times a week. This is also where we might play a class game, like a quick scavenger hunt or something around their home. And then at 9 o'clock, we stay on Zoom still, and we stay on Zoom the whole day logged in, though we're not at our computers the whole day. So at 9 o'clock, we go from our morning meeting to our reading workshop, and we have our reading workshop mini lesson for about 10 minutes, and then the kids go off to read on their own. I put them all into individual breakout rooms, and then I ask them to turn their volume all the way up, and I jump into different rooms during workshop time and confer with students. So I'll just follow a student into their breakout room, and each child is in a breakout room by themselves. So I'll follow them and I'll say, hey, can you come over? And then they'll come over to their computer and we'll have our conferring. And then I'll say, okay, you're good to go. And they'll go back and read physical books. They also usually spend 5 to 10 minutes at the end of reading workshop to read some books on Raz Kids. And then we come back around 9:40 for a share where we wrap up the lesson. At 9:45 to 10:15, we have a snack, movement break, and a recess. I tell the kids that screen breaks are great, and most kids go off to play with family members or siblings. I have a couple students whose families are working all day, and they usually just stay at their computer and watch videos anyway. So for those students, I've learned that if they're going to be at their computer, they might as well be socializing. So I open up one breakout room and I allow students whose families have given permission, and sometimes they go in and they'll play games together, like dress up and run around their house and show each other things. It's pretty cute. And then 10:15, we come back together and we have writing workshop. And then same thing, we have breakout rooms for independent time, come back for share. And then 11, we have movement break. 11 to 11:15, come back at 11:15 and have phonics. And then same thing, they go off to work independently and I'm conferring, come back at 11:40. At 11:40 to share. And then we have lunch and recess from 11:45 to 12:30. At 12:30, we come back for calendar. That's about 10 minutes. And then we have about 5 to 10 minute mini lesson for math. And then students go out to breakout rooms to work independently. And I share, and I meet with students one-on-one. And then we come back around 1:05 to share. And then our afternoon is a little bit different. 1:10 to 1:30 is a snack and movement break. And then they have one asynchronous lesson in the afternoon, and they have purposeful play in the afternoon. So technically they have two, social emotional lesson and then another lesson that alternates depending on what we're working on. In the afternoon, while students are doing their asynchronous, I am meeting with students and I have this schedule. I've deleted all the names and times from here, but I'm meeting with students all afternoon in small groups. I also keep this schedule where I write down, this is mostly just for myself, I don't share this with parents, but I write down my goals of what students I'm trying to meet one-on-one with during that independent work. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like from a student's end. So the students, they log in to Clever and then they come to Canvas. They scroll down and they always know they click on Zoom first, and then it opens up Zoom and puts them in the weight room, and I let them in at 8:45. And then they always go to daily slide decks. When they get to daily slide decks, they know I've trained them to look for certain hearts depending on what day of the week it is. So they'll log in and they'll see this, and if it's Wednesday, they know to click on the yellow heart. And so we've practiced that multiple times, and they know which to click on. And then I always have this rainbow week at a glance. That's for families. So the week at a glance, it usually looks like this. It has the small group schedule for the week. It has some important links. It has our newsletter, and then it has our main points of teaching for the week. So the kids, they'll log in and they're going to see these, and then let's pretend it's Monday. So the kids will click on the daily slide deck link for that day. Sorry, I changed my mind. We're going to actually look at this Tuesday. So they log in and they see this slide deck. This is a Google slide that I embedded into Canvas. And I'll show you how to do that in another video. If you are interested, you can check the other videos that I am making. So they see this slide. Their families usually go to the resources needed for today. And then they have pictures and information of everything they should get ready for the day. So reading and writing usually stays the same. So that's usually something that never changes. Their pencil box, all these supplies at the bottom, we slowly added more to it at the beginning of the year, and this is what we've accumulated so far. So that's always stays the same. So the main things that change that they look at every day is phonics, math, and then other. And so families prepare those supplies so that their child has them right next to them and they're ready to go when it's time to use them throughout the day. So the kids, they'll click the next button and they will go through the daily slides if they want to have a sneak peek. So they can have a sneak peek, but these are all slides that I share during class, and we look at these all together. And then they have access to them in case they miss a day, they can go back and look at things, or in case they just want to go back and watch a video again because they're interested in it, then they can go back and do that. So everything that I use to teach throughout the day, the kids have access to. So here's what our day looks like. These are all things that I would be showing to them. Like there's our reading workshop, and I would share this screen with the kids and show them this. And then I have timers for when it's time for recess. I put this timer up and they know to come back and check their computer every now and then to see how much time they have left. Usually on the way back, when it's time to come back, I'll play like a Jack Harmon video or something else. And when they hear the video, they know it's time to come back. So I'm just going to show you some more slides, and I talked to you about these during our, when we were looking at our daily agenda. So I'll just go through these just to give you like a little view. So this is what our slides look like. And then starting here, this is where the kids have their afternoon on their own. So this is their afternoon slides, and they click through the slides using the next button and the home button, and they click through the slides on their own in the afternoon and kind of like guide them through their own afternoon. So they have snack, movement break, and optional read aloud. They know to click this video. and it takes them to a video to watch. We also have a reading room that they're allowed to go to for read aloud of your choice to listen to read alouds. So if they click that image, then they will go to our virtual library, which has a lot of different things that the students love to explore. And then when they're done, they know to click the next button and they go to their alternating subjects. I have a little voice recording up here that tells them the directions, that reads the directions to them and tells them what their job is for this slide. And I always have an optional challenge for students who need a little extra, something to challenge them. And then we have the specials information for them.
Hi, kindergarten.
And then we have purposeful play information. And then they have their goodbye slide. So this is what it looks like from a student's perspective of a day. Sometimes in the afternoon, there is an assignment where they need to post on Flipgrid. And if they need to do that, I've embedded Flipgrid right into Canvas. So all they have to do is scroll down and they can post their Flipgrid right there. So usually they don't even have to leave this page if they are just doing the material online that is required. I've made another video showing how to embed Flipgrid into Canvas, so feel free to check that out if you're interested in how to embed Flipgrid here. And the other thing I want to show you in this video, some more resources. So far we've talked about Clever, we've talked about Canvas, we talked about Flipgrid being integrated, we talked about this Word document that I send to families, this Google Doc that I send to them so they can see the schedule and how I set up my small groups and everything. So a couple more things I want to show you are that I do use a couple extra online resources that I highly recommend. For reading workshop, I encourage the students to spend 5 to 10 minutes reading online, and they read on RazKids. And the way I link RazKids is I have them go to Clever, because I asked all the families to bookmark Clever at the top of their screen. So Clever is like their home base for everything. So I have them go to Clever, and then they know, they're familiar with everything that's on this line of work and everything that's on this line. So they go to Canvas here. They go to RazKids for reading workshop, and they go to Happy Numbers if they finished their math assignment early or their math independent work. Then they work on Happy Numbers, which is an amazing website that's kind of like a mix between Prodigy and Khan Academy. We started with Khan Academy, but a lot of the kids couldn't read the text because it doesn't have a speaker feature. And then we tried Prodigy, which reads out loud, but there's a lot more gaming, which encourages some guessing. And so that wasn't a real parent family pleaser. So now we're trying Happy Numbers, and it seems to be the best of both worlds so far. And then they also, another resource that we use is Boom Cards. My students absolutely love Boom Cards. I have a couple kids when sometimes we do Boom Cards as a whole class, and later they'll ask me, hey, can you send me that Boom Card? Or like every time I show a Boom Card in class, they're always like, can you send that to me so I can do it later? And it's so cute. Boom Cards is a free website. So Boom Cards is a free website, and there is like a free version. And with the free version, you can, there's a bunch of Boom Cards that teachers have created and shared on boomlearning.com. And you can download those and use those. And you can also make some of your own. If you want to make, I think like more than like 5 or 10, there's some maximum that you can have at a time. If you want to make more, then you do, there's like an advanced version that you can buy. Yeah. Here's like the sneak peek of prices. I loved Boom cards so much that I did buy a more advanced version so that I could make my own cards. I want to show you a sneak peek of what this looks like because my kids love Boom cards so much. And it was kind of a new discovery for me this semester, and I'm so glad I found it. So this is what Boom cards look like from the teacher perspective. I would just take something and use a fast pin and then copy this link and send it to students. So I would take that link and I would take the link up here and I would just send it straight in the Zoom chat. And I'll say, here's your Boom cards. Or sometimes I'll post it on the slide deck if it's something they're doing in the afternoon. And Boom cards are so cool. They're like an interactive Google slide that's super kid friendly. So you can put speakers here that will read the text aloud to the kids and tell them the directions. And then they click the answer and it like will just go to the next one and it kind of corrects them as they go automatically, so they get in that instant feedback that is so valuable. That's super hard to give for virtual teaching. So like if they click the wrong one, it'll give them the like this. It'll give them whoops. But if they click the right one, it gives them the bing. So Boom cards is another amazing resource that I've loved using for virtual teaching. Some other resources that I've used are music, which I put in a Google slide that looks like this. The kids know that during writer's workshop or reader's workshop, they can come on here and they can choose some music to listen to. I like putting it on a slide because that gets rid of the ads. They also have their timers, so a lot of families have their child like read physical books for 20 minutes and then read it online for 5 minutes, so they could set a timer. And these are some more resources that the kids have available, but we don't use them every day. These are the main ones that we use. So again, today we just talked about a day of a virtual kindergarten class. We looked a little bit from the teacher perspective behind the scenes, and we also looked at what the students see. We talked about different websites and different tools that can be used within virtual teaching, such as Canvas, Clever. We talked about Google Docs. We talked about Zoom features like in the chat box, sending links. We talked about RazKids, and we talked about Khan Academy, and we talked about Prodigy, and then we talked about Happy Numbers. We also talked about Boom cards, and we talked about Google Slides. We also talked about music and timers. Wow, that was a lot of resources for one video. Before I let you go, I want to give you a sneak peek at something called a Bitmoji room in case you've never heard of it before. This is what we would call a Bitmoji room, and it's basically a really colorful homeroom that the kids would look at, and it's interactive, and they can click on it. Like they can click on the word wall, and it will take them to our word wall information. They can click on the brain, and it will take them to some flashcards. They can click on choice time, and they can go and see items that they can play and do for choice time and purposeful play. They also have read alouds that I change out all the time. So if you are interested in Bitmoji classrooms, that's a whole different lesson. But my kids have really gotten to love the Bitmoji rooms. They see them, and for them, that's like their classroom. I would not want to be teaching without a Bitmoji room. Another fun thing I do with Bitmoji rooms for special events, like this is Lunar New Year, I send the kids this new Bitmoji room, and they get so excited about it. Like all these things are clickable. They have links attached to them. So the kids can go and watch different read alouds or listen to different music or learn how to do like origami. And the kids absolutely love the Bitmoji rooms. So I hope you got a better understanding of a day in a virtual kindergarten class, and also heard about some websites and other tools that can be used within a virtual early elementary class. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this helped. Bye.